I'll always remember meeting you for the first time, Jason.
What was that first impression like? Did you know I was told to be on my best behavior?
I didn't know what you were told, but I did know that one of the first things I saw was like you say to Kylie, I was just shotgunning beers with the Bills Mafia, and I really want to go through one of the fire tables.
Yep.
I want to jump through it. I want to jump onto the flaming table. And she goes, okay, can we not do that right now?
Yeah, God.
And since then, I've heard her say that exact thing to your 4-year-old. About like, mommy, I want to throw this pudding on the wall. Wouldn't that be fun? Can we not do it right now?
That's a common phrase for...
And then I swear to God, Jason, you flew through the window at light speed. I've never seen someone so big move so fast. And all of a sudden, like, you're out there in the snow. You're handing me children through the window.
I was trying to. That was probably not my best moment.
It was. I think it actually was.
She's like, Taylor. I was like, you want to see Taylor? I got you. Let's go.
We're going.
Whose kid is that, Jason?
Don't know.
Do you know where this kid came from? I think it was your best moment, and I think I'm very lucky to have gotten to see it.
The day Taylor Swift met Jason Kelce for the first time wasn't just memorable, it was unforgettable, the kind of seismic introduction that leaves you wondering if you've stumbled into a parallel universe. For Taylor, who'd already spent years navigating the bright, unpredictable lights of global fame, meeting the NFL's most exuberant big brother felt like being dropped into a scene from a sports movie that had broken loose from reality. Jason Kelce didn't just enter the room, he erupted into it. Taylor later recounted to Kylie Kelce, Jason's wife, how he'd practically burst through the door with the kind of energy you'd expect from someone who just finished shotgunning beers with the infamous Bills Mafia. He didn't just describe the beer-soaked spectacles. He wanted to take part, to leap through flaming tables, to live the wild Buffalo fan legend firsthand. Kylie, unfazed and calm as ever, simply gave him a look and said, "Can we not do that right now?" Taylor would soon learn this was a phrase Kylie deployed in all sorts of situations, whether it was wrangling Jason or their 4-year-old, who'd recently expressed a strong desire to throw pudding at the wall. But nothing, Taylor insisted, topped the sheer speed with which Jason moved that icy winter afternoon. There was Jason, a giant of a man, vaulting through a snow-covered window, ferrying kids in and out as if he'd momentarily transformed into a superhero in a Christmas caper. Taylor marveled, not only at his size but at the way he seemed to defy the laws of physics, moving with a quickness and joy that made the whole scene feel like a holiday film gone delightfully off-script. "I've never seen anyone that big move that fast," she confessed to friends later. "I felt lucky to witness it." The Kelces, she realized, didn't just live life, they made it a spectacle. Every ordinary moment somehow transformed into something epic and hilarious. It wasn't just the Kelce family's antics that caught Taylor off guard. At one point on a first date, she asked Jason, half teasing, half curious, what it had been like to play against his brother, Travis, in the Super Bowl. In her mind, she pictured the two brothers lining up opposite each other, ready for a one-on-one showdown, like playground football but with millions watching. Jason had only laughed, explaining that as they played different positions and both had been on offense, they'd never actually faced off directly. This revelation shattered Taylor's playground football assumptions. "I thought the NFL was like recess," she admitted, where quarterbacks glare at each other and then run at each other after the whistle. Her confusion sent the room into peals of laughter, and for Taylor, it was an invitation to learn, really learn, about the game she was now immersed in. She started with the basics. What was a first down? What did those mysterious chains do? And what exactly was a tight end? At first, she was lost, but Taylor Swift is nothing if not relentless. Soon, she was racing through her house, shrieking about draft picks. Xavier Worthy this, wild player trades that, catching her friends so off guard with her newfound obsession that they sometimes had to double-check the facts themselves. The conversations quickly grew more technical. Cover 2, cover 4, cover 0. Taylor dove into the intricacies of play calls and formations, sharing her journey with a mixture of awe and self-deprecating humor. "I'm not ready to be an analyst yet," she joked, But after 16 months of deep immersion, I've come a long way. If football had become a new frontier for Taylor, music remained her North Star. She explained that she'd never let herself feel like she'd arrived. From the moment she released her debut album at 16, she'd always been thinking about the next step, the next project, the next lyric. The joy, she said, was in the planning, the endless possibility of what could be created next. The higher she climbed, the more creative freedom she earned. Each milestone brought greater autonomy, allowing her to focus purely on making art the way she wanted. The pressure, of course, only increased. But for Taylor, the reward wasn't material. It was the thrill of working at new levels, the artistic freedom she cherished above all else. She'd never allowed herself to say, "I've made it." Not really. Not until the Aries tour. That tour, she said, felt different, a level of presence and joy she'd never known before. Now, even as she stood at the end of a show, she could soak in the moment, fully present, grateful for everything. And yet, somewhere in her mind, she was already writing new songs, planning videos, directing, loving every second of the process. Creativity was her engine, and it never stopped running. Her fans, she insisted, understood this about her. They appreciated her dedication, her willingness to keep evolving, never settling. It was a partnership, a conversation, not just a one-way performance. Taylor's immersion into the world of the Kelces wasn't all playbooks and post-game analysis. At one point, she turned the tables on Travis and Jason, teasing Travis about his waxing situation, how the hair was growing back, leading to laughter and jokes about managing thick hair and the inevitable itchiness of regrowth. The brothers joked about not managing it at all, just letting nature take its course. But beneath the laughter, the easy rapport, there was something else brewing, a secret hiding in plain sight. On the latest episode of the New Heights podcast, co-hosted by Jason and Travis Kelce, the conversation started out as usual, golf tournaments, family life, behind-the-scenes stories. But then Jason, with a twinkle in his eye, dropped it, a joke about Travis keeping a ring safe, or the fans would find out. Travis paused, smiled awkwardly, and then changed the subject with practice speed. Millions noticed. Social media erupted. What did the remark mean? In New York, Taylor wasn't present for the taping, but she heard about it almost immediately. Friends said she sat in silence for a moment, eyes wide, replaying the podcast in disbelief. Was this how it would get out? But as speculation ramped up, she relaxed. Her feelings for Travis were clear, and whatever Jason had let slip, an engagement announcement would come soon enough. Travis's awkward smile following Jason's comment didn't go unnoticed. Fans dissected every frame, convinced this was the sign they'd been waiting for. A Chiefs insider confirmed that Travis was serious about Taylor, and Jason's slip, while embarrassing, was only a matter of timing. Jason's reputation as the family joker was well known, but this time, his playful banter had become a viral talking point. After the episode aired, Jason jumped on social media with a cheeky oops. "I guess I said too much," earning him the unofficial title of Spoiler of the Year. The engagement buzz didn't just stay online. Both the Kelce and Swift families found themselves under a microscope, friends and relatives fielding calls and texts about the rumor. The news cycle spun faster and faster, tabloids and sports analysts speculating about everything from the ring size to the possible date and location of a wedding. Photographers and reporters staked out homes. Even as the storm raged, Taylor kept her focus on music, rehearsing, writing, creating, while Travis went about his training in podcasting. Privately, the couple leaned on each other, joking about the media frenzy and finding comfort in their shared sense of humor. Jason, always the instigator, kept the jokes coming, but beneath it all, he was genuinely happy for his brother. Taylor, meanwhile, had found a warm welcome in the Kelce family, especially during quieter moments away from cameras, where she felt like just another member of the clan. Travis showed up for Taylor's concerts, cheering her on from the crowd. She became a regular at his games, wearing red and gold, learning the ropes of football fandom, making friends with other players' families. Together, they celebrated milestones big and small, new song arrangements, playoff wins, moments that bridged their two worlds. Even as rumors about a proposal swirled, they focused on enjoying the present. There were trips when schedules allowed, new cities to explore, and little rituals that kept them close despite the chaos. Their relationship unfolded in a whirlwind of stadium lights and studio sessions, but they made time for quiet dinners, walks in the park, inside jokes that only they understood. As days turned into weeks and the engagement rumor refused to die, Taylor and Travis handled the attention with grace. Neither confirmed nor denied anything, letting their actions speak louder than words. Fans watched every detail: Taylor's jewelry, Travis's glances, every candid photo, hunting for clues. The internet's detective work only fueled more headlines. Secret wedding plans, possible venues, prospective guest lists. Nothing was off limits for speculation. For Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, the real story wasn't just about a ring or a rumor. It was about two worlds colliding: music and football, artistry and athleticism, and finding joy in the chaos. It was about learning new things, laughing at your own misconceptions, and building something real in the middle of a media circus. Taylor often said that life at the top was less about arrival and more about evolution, about staying curious and never losing your sense of wonder. In the Kelce family, in the world of football, she found a new playground, one where she could laugh, learn, and love in equal measure. And as for that engagement, only time would tell. But if there's one thing Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce had mastered, it was keeping the world guessing.